diaspora so that every county can leverage on the people they have wherever it is around the world. So, good people, I am the UDA Policy Task Force. My good friend Eliud Awalo is here. In fact, he is our contact person at the party on matters to do with the diaspora, so that we can be able to work out things a lot faster. And as you've heard, the Secretary General is out of town. She was supposed to travel back yesterday, but there was a problem with her traveling, so her flight was cancelled. So she will come back a bit later. This is a very important engagement for us, and that's why we are here. I also want to tell you that as you are in Kenya, we are looking up to you to provide ideas, expertise, and also support our fundraising initiatives as we build the Hustler Party. You know, the Hustler Party is a party for everybody, and every cent and every shilling and every dollar counts. So again, I want to welcome you to that space. Don't shy away from your ideas. Don't shy away from whatever it is that you can contribute in terms of talent. And I like the idea, somebody said here, we also are working on adopt a polling station, adopt a sub-county, adopt a ward, you know. If you can, if we, and the party, Eliud and your team should be able to prepare packages. You know, what does adopt a polling station entail? What does adopt a ward entail? What does adopt a sub-county entail? How do we create a pool of volunteers? We have so many volunteers already in Kenya, fashioned differently. We have all manner of, we have many groups that have volunteered, formed themselves into Hustler this, Hustler the other, UDA this, and that kind of thing. So that big body of people are the people we want to harness as volunteers to make our push for the party. So I know I have taken a bit of time, but I just thought I need to share these ideas with you so that we are all of the same mind. I will sit here for another 45 minutes to listen to some of the feedback from you guys, and then we will then agree on how to go forward. Sawa sawa. Asanteni sana na karibuni. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your kind words, and we really appreciate what the encouragement you have given us, and we will be more than glad if you can be able to become more, right? Good. At this time, I think Diaspora, we also gender sensitive, and we do care about our youth. It's my pleasure to introduce our youth. We have just for 2 minutes. Tell us where our youth is headed. Victoria.
Good afternoon. My name is Victoria Kappa. Denmark as a development business organization that deals with drugs and mental health. And as you have heard, I also represent UDA Youth. One of these things is being able to assemble as many youth as possible. The average age of Kenyans is actually approximately 21 years. So we have a very, very young population here and abroad. And these are workforces and work people that we can be able to utilize to the maximum. And therefore, with the opportunity that UDA is giving to us, we do want to be able to establish better situations for our people and our future. Imagine with a 21-year-old population, what the future would look like and what the present actually looks like. Isn't there a big opportunity for amazing things to happen? I believe so as well. I definitely believe so. Now, one of the other things that I believe UDA has done for us is being able to bring in so many young people. We also have a very young leader, and that's actually something that we can be able to utilize a lot. The brains, the youngness, and the ability to be able to be in leadership for a very long period and be able to create change in the country. Now, what do we have to offer? We offer our brains, we offer mobility, we offer the ability to be able to bring on board as many young people as possible and as many energetic people as possible, as you can already see me running around here, yeah? So to be able to help as much as possible to bring this country to a very different level. We can't be left behind as a country. Kenya has amazing brains when it comes to people. Amazing brains when it comes to people. So as you're here, support us, help us, as we also support UDA in the very best capability that we can be able to do. Thank you so much. And my name is Victoria Nkata, and you feel free to connect with me at any point. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Victoria. Now we have come to another session, and I know Diaspora they have a lot of questions they would like to ask. We are going to do a question and answer session, and I'm going to have only 10 questions. Let's do 3 at a time. From this side, 3, 3, 3. Let's go here. Three questions before we answer. Go on. Can you hear?
Okay, I greet you all protocols observed. My name is Shiki Maloba. I am a sports fanatic. And everything that has been mentioned, I'm sorry to say, nothing about sports has been mentioned. And why I'm saying this is, I think a lot of our income comes from the sports people outside. So now, for example, I play rugby. I played rugby in South Africa. I was one of the first pro rugby players. And why it comes to my concern is when I come back home, my teammates, they play very well. They're good sports people. They get to be poached out of the country. But now they have no clue For example, if South Africa comes and gets good sports people in Kenya, who helps these sports people outside the country? There's no one to talk to them. They know nothing. When you go out the country, they don't take your mother. They don't take your teammates. They just take you as a person. They take you to a country. For instance, a country that doesn't speak your language. Let's say I go to France. I don't speak French. I'm supposed to play. I have my money. What do I do with my money? I have people back home I need to help. How do I help my people? Who is going to help me answer all those questions? So now my point is, if we have a place where I get called for a team to play, and I come to an office, this office, I'll be like, okay, they've called me in France. I don't know French. Who's going to help me? Who's going to help my journey through my team?
Okay.
Right?
Thank you. All right.
Thank you
very much. Let's make our questions as short as possible because of time. Thank you very much. I think that will come up. Okay, go on.
Your Excellency, all protocols observed. My name is Jose Kasikoe from Jabali, Africa. I'm a diasporan. I've been representing this country for the last 28 years. I'm a musician. We've been doing a lot of things out there, but we've never been getting, we've realized our creative industry, basically we are people who've benefited from the creative systems abroad. And I would like to know what your policy is towards the creative industry. Right now as we speak, I've been nominated for a Grammy, you know, so, and apart from that, I've been in the diaspora, I have kids in the diaspora, and my question was, I'm really much concerned about this voting situation because I feel like once we get the right to vote, our voices will be heard better. So I want to know what you think about this voting situation. Thank you.
Okay. At the back there. Let's have somebody at the back. No question? Okay. Okay, go on.
Deputy President, you talked about how you're going to plan the government. You didn't tell us about corruption. When we are out there, we do our stuff. We don't have to bribe anybody to do for us. What we need, we can actually give a tip. So, utaweza kufanya namna gani? If the corruption can stop in this country, we will really prosper. Our country will be different. You've been called names, a thief, and all this. Can you prove that you can block all the loopholes and that our country will be? I know God is going to vindicate you and you're going to be a wonderful president. Congo amazing.
Thank you. Now the last question. Yes, at the back there. Yeah, here. The last question.
Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you so much, Your Excellency, for the wonderful information you have passed on to us. Now, my question is around the health plans that you have. It is interesting that we are going to have a new law based on percentages, but here we are, people in the diaspora. When we look at the law, basically, you find that this package favors the residents of Kenya. Depending on the countries where we are, others may have health insurance schemes that recognize, let's say, transborder or beyond the countries where they live, US, Canada, and wherever. But now, when we have one at home, will there be anywhere where a diasporian will be able now to subscribe, however small it is, so that when we come home, and we are from those countries that do not extend their insurances to Kenya, will that be covered? And now, if it is based on percentage, how will it be determined? Will it be determined by our income there, or it will be a flat rate, which now it's not going to be applicable? Thank you.
Thank you. You want us to take? Yeah, thank you very much. Let me start with Shiki.
We are pitching through the 5 principles, but everything else is covered. We have a plan on education, we have a plan on sports, we have a plan on creative industry, and what the thoughts are is in our bigger manifesto plan. What I just said here, the 5 points, is what becomes the central, the center of our drive. But all the other issues you have mentioned, the value of our sportsmen, the value of the creative industry, we must set up the infrastructure to support our creative industry. We have a whole chapter on what we intend to do in our creative industry. What we did last as a government was to take all the funds that we collect from gambling and that kind of thing and put them in a fund where we use, because the biggest problem we've had is the resources to invest in building creative industry infrastructure, studio, facilities in stadia. In fact, you may want to know that we are in the process of completing the big question of stadia, and we did isolate money using, as I have said, money that we get from gambling and so that it is dedicated money that cannot fund anything else, but can fund our sports infrastructure and the creative industry. And we have a fund called the Sports and Art Fund, which we created the last 3 years. And it has seen a lot of tremendous growth in our sports space. And I think I've touched both of the issues you guys there raised. The issue on corruption, this is my position on matters to do with corruption. The biggest problem with corruption in Kenya is when it becomes politicized. The biggest challenge we have is, and I've said this, there is one statement Willie Mutunga, our former Chief Justice, said, that for the time he was in office, the hotline, which normally is the line that the president uses to call people at a certain level, he said that hotline never rang, and not that it was faulty. Kibaki did not call anybody to do anything. He allowed the institutions to function, right? My position in matters of fighting corruption is to make sure, as we have done under this administration, to make sure that the DPP has the software, the human resource, and the financial resources to discharge his responsibility. And so must be the courts. Today, the courts, and I said this in Bomas when we had this BBI thing. Today, we have a judiciary fund that has never been operationalized. And judiciary gets 40% of the money it is supposed to get for them to discharge their responsibility. The judiciary, in accordance with the law, is supposed to get 2.5% of our budget. They get less than 1%. And with the judiciary undermined that far, it becomes very difficult to fight corruption. Right? We put a lot of resources in the investigative agencies. My position is that the fight against corruption will succeed when we capacitate all the institutions charged with fighting corruption and we remove politics from it. As so long as there is a clear push that people are prosecuted politically in the name of corruption, we will never win the fight against corruption. And it is almost public knowledge today in Kenya that you can be as corrupt as you want so long as you have the right friends. As long as you are not a friend of William Ruto, you can be, as long as you don't associate with William Ruto, you can steal anything you want. Yeah? And it is so obvious that people will tell you today in Kenya that I have to be a friend of so-and-so so that I am not charged in court for corruption. Are we together? So the moment the people of Kenya are of the perception that the war against corruption is not about those who have stolen, it is about those who do not have friends in high office, then the war against corruption is lost. My position is that we need to eject politics out of the fight against corruption, and we need to support all the institutions charged with the fight against corruption, including oversight. Today, if you do not even have a properly functioning opposition, how do you hold government to account? You know? If all efforts are being made to recruit the opposition into government so that they shut up whenever wrong things are going on, that's going the complete wrong direction. That's why my position is we should have institutions, oversight institutions, whether it is the opposition, whether it is the committees in parliament, whether it is the office of the DCI, the EACC, and the only instruction they should have is not from any politician, but from the law. That should be our position, and that is my position. On the issue of the health plan we have, I think you are 3-4 steps ahead of us. I think you just need to be patient, yeah? Let's get the plan up and running, and then slowly we will see how, when it begins working in Kenya, we can then figure out and learn from experience how we can make it cross our borders, and how, when you heard me say you can pay, I was talking about you paying for your loved ones who are living in Kenya. I am very sure wherever you live, they could be having a better plan than we do, or a working plan at the moment. And maybe if it is not, then we will all work together and see how that can work out. Okay? We can take another 3 or 4.
Thank you, Excellency, for those answers. I think we are going to go for the next 4 questions. It's only fair going this side. Yes, sir.
Where you responded. My question goes that these people have. Diaspora is so much, they have access to so much resources. But the big problem is, if we do get some resources donated to bring it back to this country, when it gets to the port of entry in Mombasa, the taxes becomes exorbitant and it's impossible even to bring him in. As we speak, I was able to source medical equipment for 45 million. This medical equipment will be donated to my constituency. But as I sleep every night, I wonder, when this medical equipment gets to the port, how much am I going to pay in terms of taxes? There are so many friends, they would love to support this country by giving equipment or other resources. But when it comes in, the KRA will just say, okay, we want to tax it. And we'll end up saying, okay, I'll just let it go. And I don't know what they take or what they do with it. So I want to know what your policy or what your government will do to encourage diaspora to source with friends and also people to help this country by donating things that can help our country.
Thank you very much. Yes. No, behind you, please. Please, you'll be next.
Shida yangu kubwa ni kuwa kuna barrier especially kwa diaspora. Tuko hapa kukusupport 100% na tumeanza kazi. Tumefanya data reading kwa mahali nimetoka na we have around 250 houses na youth ni wingi. Method ni nzuri ya campaign, inaendelea vizuri, but building relationship at community level is the problem. Tumefuatiliza na tumeamua kama community we will work together, na tumeamua tunataka kukubak wewe, na the reason tunakubak ni kuwa haufanyi guessing work. Kitu ya pili, tunaelekea Lamu pia. Shida ya Lamu ni about agriculture, na nimemleta mwenzangu kutoka India hapa. Tunaenda kushughulikia mambo ya agriculture. Sasa nimeomba vile nitapata njia ya kueleza the method that I want to use, and I believe it will bring more potential to our party. Isikuwe shida sisi kukumit. Asante sana.
Thank you very much. Let's go at the back. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much, Your Excellency. I'm called Samiko Victor. I come from Uganda. I have 3 questions to Your Excellency. Number one is, last year we produced a lot of maize in Uganda, but our farmers were denied to access maize to Kenya. That they say that our maize were toxic, yet people from Uganda were eating the same maize. Number 2, the issue of, in Uganda we have what we call parish model, parish development model. It is exactly like bottom up. I was just emphasizing that, Your Excellency, the Deputy President of Kenya, that motto of bottom up, it has started in Uganda. But the only difference of Uganda is parish development model. It is exactly the same. And in Uganda, it has started working. So I hope in Kenya, this model is going to work. Then lastly, I have a very serious issue here. We have our people in diaspora who have finished schools. But sometimes when they apply for jobs in Kenya, and they studied from Uganda or other parts of the world, they are denied access to jobs because they studied from different countries. My concern is, how are you going to sort that issue out so that we are all treated equally? Then I appreciate you by saying, the likes of Dindi Nyoro, Ichungwa, Susan Kika, some of us in Uganda, we really follow you people. And if you talk about Deputy President of Kenya, if you talk negative, even they can kill you in Uganda. We love you, Deputy President. Thank you very much.
Okay, the lady in the yellow there. That's the last question.
Praise the Lord. I'm glad we are dining with the King, and we will never be the same again. I'm Janet from UAE. I've worked for the airline for 15 years, and mine is not actually a question. It's actually to see how you can, UDA can help us or empower us, because our employers, they trust us. From 2019, I've been trying to get a landing right for our airline, just trusted by my employee, but I'm not able. And this landing will create job opportunities for so many Kenyans, because I negotiated that. I told them, if I get the landing, will you guys bring expatriates, or you will employ our people? I thought that was the winning card, by trying to speak to the people I was told to speak to, that they will give us the landing in condition that our people are the ones who are employed. But I have not bore fruit since 2019 November. I have even asked letters to be written to the ministry, but there is no reply. We have so many Arabs who want to invest. They even gave me another project on machines that produce water from the atmosphere. And I also put a negotiation card like, train our people so that we can be servicing these machines. They gave me 2 machines worth millions. They are here. When it arrived here and it's a donation packet, I had to pay millions to the for taxes. So how do we combat all this? Because we have opportunities where we can help our sisters and our brothers through patriotism and the love of our country. But we have barriers. Barriers that only God can help us. And God equip you because of the young mind and the fresh anointing that will be there for you. You are our Moses. We love you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Gentleman from here, my good patron also had a similar problem. In fact, the things he had managed to get were auctioned. So, now, you see, we have a background. The background was, once upon a time, the law permitted that, gave discretion to the Minister for Finance to waive taxes on case by case on items that were imported into Kenya. That discretion was abused. So when we developed, or when Kenyans were rewriting the Constitution in 2010, they actually locked the doors and the windows and everything. And they said, everybody must pay tax. It was in response to an abuse on the tax system that was used by a few people to benefit people in different ways. That's what we have as a problem today in Kenya, that the law, the Constitution actually, it's not even the law, the Constitution demands that taxes are paid on everything. Now, we will progressively have to deal with it because we have lost many opportunities, as has been said here. Many people have donated, and I get letters upon letters on my desk of people saying, look, these things are being donated for free. Why are you asking us to pay 3 million, 5 million tax on an item that was donated for free, for charity, or to help a community health center, or to help in this or the other? That's a discussion we must have, and that's a discussion within government we must look at critically. It is not something that you're telling me. It is something that is present on my desk every day. People raising issues, not just even Kenyans, even our development partners. They are concerned that even when they want to donate something, you know, you're giving somebody something for free and he's telling you, pay so that you give me. You know, it doesn't make sense. You know, for you to give me the gift you want to give me, you have to pay me to receive it. You know, it's really counterproductive. So that's a discussion that is alive, and I won't give you a straight answer today, but it is something that as we go forward, we must have a discussion around it and find a solution to it, so that we cannot disadvantage ourselves in a situation where you are in need, but you are asking to be paid for your need to be sorted out. You know? My good lady there on what they are doing about community relationships and trying to build a network of support around different communities. We will wade through those because approaches are different. One community to another community, the approach is different. We have cultural issues, we have customary issues. We all have to balance how we drive our agenda. I know you have said that it shouldn't be very difficult for you people to meet me. While that is very true, and I try to be as available as I can, but I'm just one person, you know. It's not possible for me to meet everybody. And that's why we have a party structure. That's why we have all other structures to help support this whole effort. Eliud Awalo here will also help you on matters you have raised on the contributions of ideas in agriculture. We have our economic team, a very talented group of good Kenyans. My good brother Eliud is a member of that team, and he can facilitate a meeting between whoever you want us to meet with our team, and we will be able to tap into the good ideas on farming that you have, and we can be able to bring them on board. I think Eliud, you can facilitate that. I agree with the gentleman from Uganda that we have challenges of imports of maize, and we just need to help our people in Uganda. I am among the people who import maize from Uganda for my chicken. And there is a real problem with maize from Uganda, I must tell you. In fact, we just stopped importing maize from Uganda because the cuckoos became sick. And largely, it has nothing to do with, it's just the handling, because most of the infrastructure, you know, people dry the maize on the road, so the maize come when it is already brown, and it becomes very, there is a small problem which we can deal with, you know, in just matters of handling the maize, but it's not an excuse for people to lock the gates against the maize coming from Uganda, because Uganda is a very big source of maize as Tanzania is for Kenya. Maybe when you are talking about the way it is handled so that it gets contaminated and then it brings challenges, we have to work as countries to be able to sort out that problem. The parish model in Uganda is you are 100% correct. It is the bottom-up approach, and that is why, for those of you who are here, Uganda used to be our #1 destination for exports. You will be surprised that today Uganda exports more to us than we export to them. And it's because of what Museveni has done with that bottom-up economic model. He has created production. We have challenges with maize, as that good brother has said. We have challenges with sugar. We have challenges with eggs coming from Uganda because they now produce more than we do, and their price is cheaper than ours. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the thing has actually reversed, has gone full circle. Today, we are exporting less Uganda, they are exporting more to us. Yet they used to be our #1 export destination. It means we have to really think about our model, and that is why I have come up with the proposal of the bottom-up economic model, so that we can fire our economy from the below, where we have the majority of our citizens. I appreciate your support, all of you. I don't take it for granted. It comes with a lot of emotion, and it's all because we all want the best for our country. Janet, the whole issue of an opportunity to have landing rights is not quite a commercial issue. It is also a very big political issue. Maybe if I would get somebody to discuss with you how that goes, because it's not a straightforward commercial issue. There is a lot of politics in being allowed to land in a country. We struggled to get Kenya Airways to land in America. It took us quite a while, and a lot of you must do this, you must do this, you must do the other, you must do the other. We just signed, when the president was in South Africa, some collaboration between our two airlines. It's normally handled at a very high level because there is a lot of politics around it, and where you fly, with who, you know, when you have landing rights in one country, it affects your landing rights with the next country. Because of the relationship between your country and that other country and the other country. Sometimes there are countries, because of differences, you cannot be allowed to overfly a certain country. So there is a lot of geometry around it that eventually informs a decision whether you get a landing right or not. So again, I sympathize with your frustration in trying to get some of our people employed using your airline. But maybe if it is something that is brought to our attention directly, we can be able to advise on what needs to be done and clearly know whether there is a possibility or not, right? So that we can all move together. Maybe we can take the last two questions or so, and then I can allow the MPs to speak.
Okay, we'll take.
And please, make it short, ask your question.
Introduce yourself.
Thank you, His Excellency, the Deputy President, honorable members, and the delegate. My name's Joki Dhuku. I'm the daughter of the late Harry Dhuku, the freedom fighter. I'm happy to be with you here this afternoon. I have three questions. One is about the freedom fighters. What plans do you have for the freedom fighters who fight for the freedom which is making us to be here where we are today, including my dad and the other voiceless freedom fighters? The other thing, apart from Harry Dhuku, we don't have anything. Given the honor in the rate of my dad, what does the government plan to do so? I would appreciate if my dad is recognized somewhere else beside Harry Dhuku Road. The other one is about, I'm a Kenyan citizen by birth and everything. But this issue of coming from America and we are being charged visa to come to my country, it's painful. Why are we being charged? Why are being charged visa to come to our country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll take one more here, and yes, to the gentleman in the red. And that's the line that can go to the next.
Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Mombi, and I live in Dallas, Texas. My question is for the sake of those who are doing business in America or any other diaspora country. I have a Kenyan restaurant in Dallas, and it is so difficult for us to get items that we need to be able to promote Kenya and sell Kenya. And a good example or case in point is Tusker. I have made an effort for the last almost 10 years trying to get direct authorization to be able to get items like Tusker and spices, which now have been allowed, that is okay. But even with the help of the embassy, you still cannot even make a step forward. With all GOA rules and all that, there is no reason why we should not be able to get it directly and have that done by a Kenyan instead of that being given to an American and has a contract for more than 50 years. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, last question. Introduce yourself and make it short. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. Your Excellency, the Deputy President, thank you so much for welcoming us to the Hustler Mansion this morning. Once again, my name is Eliud Mwana Kipsang. I'm the person or the chairperson coordinating the East African region, the 4 countries of Uganda, Rwanda, Tanzania, and Burundi. Earlier on, the gentleman here asked about the voting, which Your Excellency, you didn't answer. And I'm so passionate about it because we, the East African region, have been participating in elections since 2013 into 2017, and now we are going into 2022. And we are not just here to discuss about money or about anything, but how are we going to contribute to the vote basket come 2022? And that's where my passion is. And in the East African region, we've called ourselves the +1 team. William Ruto here to be president in 2022 needs 50 + 1. And for him to get that 50 + 1, he actually needs a 1 vote from the diaspora. And that's why we are saying, let's put our focus also in the mobilization of votes. And we're extremely happy that the IEBC is trying to extend the voting rights to other parts of the world. And the registration of all voters in the diaspora is starting on the 2nd of December, and it will be ending on the 20th of December 2021. And I'm calling upon all of you, my brothers, who have made it here today, my sisters who have been able to make it here today, and those of us who have not been able to travel with us, let us all turn up and register as voters in the different embassies and different consulates that we are going to be working with. So as UDA East Africa chapter, we are doing a number of things to mobilize votes. And we also have musicians that we've come with a musician who would like to also present to you the song that he has been able to compose for you. And it's doing a lot in the East African region, trying to mobilize the votes, trying to make them go and register as voters. Thank you so much.
And Joki has said, what plans do we have about our freedom fighters? You may want to know that this is something that we have we've thought through. There is a huge development that is going on now at Uhuru Gardens. We hope that that development at Uhuru Gardens will provide a basis for us to have a memorial museum for our independence and all the people who made their contribution. There is a huge museum that is being done as we talk. If you pass by Uhuru Gardens, you will see there is a very big development that is going on there. I remember I traveled to not Botswana, Namibia, and they took me to their Independence Memorial Museum. And when I came here, I had a discussion with President Uhuru Kenyatta, and we had a long discussion, and that's how we ended up with the investment we are making at the Uhuru Gardens. We intend to use that for history, and we also intend to create a place where if families accept going forward, some of our heads of state and people in that category, if the families so wish, they can be given a place where that also can be a place where we have a site for remembering our leaders, both past, present, and hopefully future. So I am very sure that Harry Thuku will have a place in that museum as we create it. The fact that there is Harry Thuku Road already is recognition enough that he made a contribution to the independence of our nation. The issue, the matter of visa, we have this dual citizen. You are not a dual citizen. You are. So why are you paying visa if you are a dual citizen? Because you should be able to use your Kenyan passport to come back home. Pardon?
When I use the US passport, they say that I cannot come to Kenya because I don't have the visa. So I have to go back to the house and get the Kenyan passport so that I can travel.
So
my question was, why do we have to pay for Kenyan passport if we want to use the American passport? Why do we have to pay for the visa? Because we are American by naturalization, yet we are Kenyans by birth.
I think it's a smaller issue, madam. I think it's a very small issue. I think, if you get to the airport and your passport says you are American, they just treat you as an American. So I think for purposes of getting out of that problem, whenever you are coming home, why are you not proudly using your Kenyan? And I'm not making a big issue out of it. I'm just saying, maybe before we create a proper nexus, I would advise you, whenever you are coming home, please use our Kenyan passport. It's not too bad. Yeah? But anyway, maybe we can have another discussion just to understand if there is a problem beyond what you have, or maybe I have not understood you properly. And then the Mumbi and your big restaurant in America with Tusker. It's really wonderful that you are thinking about a Kenyan drink, Kenyan recipe out there, and that kind of thing. Again, we live in a world that has trade laws, So every country wants to protect their industries. They want to make sure that if you are if it's not being produced in their country, there must be, how things are done. I don't understand fully what the issue is. I know you've said there is only one person licensed to be able to do that. Maybe there needs to be a discussion so that it's not so restricted. If it is already allowed that it can be sold in America, then we just need to make it that much more easy. And I hope with my proposal to have a diaspora ministry, I hope these are some of the things that we can straighten out much more faster. And hopefully, again, maybe we can help Njoki with her passport issue if we find this diaspora ministry to try and sort it out. Yeah? No, I'm saying that passport maneno. And then voting. We all would really like, every Kenyan to vote. It is a right. It's a right that must not be denied in any way. But the capacity of our IEBC is something that we have to work on. Our IEBC, we must accept, has had challenges from the Kivuito days. And to be able to develop the trust that they indeed have the